Alright, nostalgic critic fans, let's talk about a cinematic train wreck of epic proportions, Godzilla, 1998. I'm talking about the one where they took the iconic king of the monsters, shipped him off to Hollywood, and somehow managed to drain every ounce of his radioactive charm. The intention was clear: create a big-budget Americanized Godzilla flick to rival the Japanese originals. We're talking blockbuster special effects, heart-stopping action, and maybe even a touch of that classic Godzilla social commentary. Think Independence Day with a reptilian twist. The hype was real, the anticipation was palpable, and then the movie came out. Instead of a terrifying force of nature, we got a giant mutated iguana with a penchant for playing hide-and-seek in the fog. Instead of a thought-provoking exploration of humanity's relationship with nature, we got Matthew Broderick trying to outrun a lizard that moves slower than a dial-up connection. Don't get me wrong, I love a good monster movie, but this ain't it, Chief. The plot, if you can call it that, is about as thin as a slice of pizza from one of those cardboard boxes. We've got Godzilla, a product of French nuclear testing, because who else would be irresponsible with nukes, right? Rampaging through New York City. Naturally, it's up to a ragtag team of scientists, soldiers, and one very out-of-place Matthew Broderick to stop him. Our hero, if you can call him that, is Dr. Nico Tatopoulos, a worm scientist with all the charisma of a wet baguette. He's joined by Audrey Timmons, a sassy reporter who exists solely to ask obvious questions and scream at the first sign of danger. And let's not forget the French Secret Service, a group of beret-wearing, chain-smoking caricatures straight out of a bad spy film. The dialogue is about as natural as a plastic Christmas tree, filled with groan-worthy one-liners and exposition so clunky it would make a transformer blush. You half expect someone to turn to the camera and explain the entire plot in excruciating detail, just in case the audience got lost somewhere between the giant lizard and the blatant product placement. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, or rather the oversized iguana Godzilla himself. Now, I understand that everyone has their own interpretation of what Godzilla should look like, but this ain't it. This Godzilla is less king of the monsters, more like the awkward cousin twice removed that you try to avoid at family reunions. He's got the physique of a T-Rex that skipped leg day, with a face that looks like it got stuck in a wind tunnel. And don't even get me started on that roar. It's less screink and more like a constipated walrus trying to pass a kidney stone. The special effects, while groundbreaking for their time, haven't aged well. Godzilla looks like he's made of PlayStation 1 polygons, awkwardly lumbering through a city that looks suspiciously like a miniature model. And the less said about those baby Godzillas, the better. Let's just say they make Barney the dinosaur look like a terrifying predator in comparison. We're gonna need a bigger boat, load of explosives. The action sequences, which should be the bread and butter of any good monster movie, are about as exciting as watching paint dry. Godzilla lumbers around, knocking over buildings with all the grace of a bull in a china shop, while our heroes run away in slow motion. There's a distinct lack of tension or suspense, as it's pretty obvious that Godzilla is about as threatening as a goldfish in a bathtub. He spends more time tripping over his own feet than actually destroying anything, and when he does manage to catch someone, it's usually off-screen, and the climax of the film involves luring Godzilla into a trap using, wait for it, fish, because nothing says terrifying apex predator like a weakness for tuna. The final showdown is a cacophony of explosions, shaky cam, and CGI that looks more dated than a VHS tape of your grandma's birthday party. Godzilla vs. Jurassic Park: Dawn of the Product Placement. One of the most baffling aspects of Godzilla, 1998, is the blatant product placement. It's like the filmmakers decided to turn the movie into a 2-hour commercial break, shamelessly shoehorning in brands like it's going out of style. We get it, Godzilla likes to snack on Snickers bars and wash it down with a refreshing can of Coke. He's also a big fan of Nike shoes apparently, because who needs natural camouflage when you can have bright, flashy footwear? The product placement is so egregious, so in your face, that it's almost comical. It's like the filmmakers said, hey, you know what would make this giant monster movie even better? If we turned it into a giant billboard for corporate America. So bad, it's legendary. Godzilla, 1998, is a cinematic disaster of epic proportions. It's a movie that fails on almost every level. From its cheesy plot and awkward characters, to its laughable special effects and blatant product placement, it's the kind of movie that makes you want to tear your hair out in frustration, wondering how such a beloved monster could be so thoroughly butchered. But here's the thing, Godzilla, 1998, is also strangely entertaining. It's so bad, so over the top, that it loops back around to being hilarious. It's the kind of movie that you can't help but laugh at, even as you're shaking your head in disbelief. Godzilla, 1998, has become a cult classic, not for its merits as a monster movie, but for its utter failure to be one. It's a testament to the fact that sometimes, even the biggest disasters can be entertaining in their own special way. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Quirky Critic signing out.